Josh Brown. Now I want to get to the Giants a little bit. John Mara, in September of 2010, after August was the darkest time in NFL history, John Mara, co-owner of the New York Football Giants. There is no place for domestic violence in our sport or our society, and we are committed to doing our part to prevent such heinous acts going forward.
Sounds good.
That was September 10th, 2014. April 2016, he signs Josh Brown after he told you Josh Brown had told him he had abused his wife.
Yep.
Now, here's a guy. This is a golden franchise. When you talk about franchises,
This is cornerstone. Yeah.
Giants,
Yep.
the Steelers, the Bears,
Yep.
because this is an original family-owned franchise. He talked tough. But you know what I see, Skip? If you think a guy can help you win, they swept this under the rug, Skip. They had information at the Pro Bowl. The NFL had firsthand knowledge. This wasn't hearsay. This wasn't you had to read about it. This wasn't you had to go to King County or you had to go to Charlotte, North Carolina, or you had to go to Jersey. You were there. NFL officials intervened and moved the wife and the kids to another hotel.
No, they did.
But you did nothing. You said nothing. And honestly, and this is why players have a problem with the commissioner.
Sure.
Because he's reactionary in his punishment.
So before I respond to everything you just said, I want to hear what Joy thinks about this.
Well, I mean, there's no need to repeat anything that you both just said. The information is there. It's ridiculous that the NFL can't get on top of this. It's disappointing. And you're right. He's got to get out of the punishment business. Why does everything have to be a reaction? Why can't you just do the right thing the first time around? For me, it's disappointing. As a person who's been that woman,
Yes.
as a person who's been Janae Rice on the grounds,
Yeah.
it blows my mind that it has to go this far before they do something. You have the things in place. You can't tell me you don't have the resources to find out what's going on. You expect me to believe that
No.
you couldn't find out the information?
Nobody believes that.
Someone who's serving the sheriff coffee could ask him a question. It's pretty serious. You're telling me you, the NFL, cannot walk in there with your security and ask a question. Is this something we should suspend? The answer is yes. You don't have to get the information. You don't have to get the paperwork. It's frustrating, but it's obvious. It can't be solved. It's the second time around now. First time, it's terrible. All right, let's make the changes. Let's talk about it. Let's get the awareness out there and do the right thing. The second time, what do you want from me? What do you want? What do you want from me? Deflategate goes on as long as it does. All the resources, all the investigation, all the slander, and we already went through this.
With flimsy evidence at best against Tom Brady, but you're going to convict Tom Brady for 4 games, and you can only convict Josh Brown for 1?
What makes me crazy about this, and I understand if you've not been around domestic violence, if you've not been around violence against women, it's not happened to someone in your family, it's not happened to you. It's hard to understand how serious it can get. How bad does it have to get? When Mr. Mara says we don't know the extent of it, what's the extent you want it to get to? How bad does it? What's the extent you're speaking of? What do you mean? You have to see it? That's what happened with Ray Rice. We saw it. We couldn't believe it. Oh, a woman got beat. That's pretty serious. Oh, we saw it. Oh, it is serious.
You got Josh Brown's own words. Josh said, I did it. His wife said he did it. What more do you, if someone tells you they did it, the party that it happened to tells you he did it, what more information do you need, Skip? That's what I want to know. What else could they get? What material did they need? Your policy said a first-time offender is subject to 6 games. Mitigating circumstances could move it up or it could move it down. But this is the policy, what you instituted in August of 2014. Sure. So what didn't you know that you could have known that would have changed? Because just on its face value, how can you give Josh Brown 1 game and give Ray Rice 2? Because
you don't mean it.
Hold on. Because first of all, you say you hadn't seen the video. So you knew nothing. And if you know nothing about Josh Brown, you know nothing about Ray Rice. How can Ray Rice get 2 and Josh Brown gets 1? Just on that alone, Skip. If once you answer me that, then I can just tear your case apart. You and I both know this was a reactionary response. And if the public outcry and these journalists didn't raise, hold on, wait a minute. Where's this get tough, sink your teeth in, and we're going to clean up the NFL? Because, the commissioner, that's what he came in on. I'm gonna get tough. I'm gonna clean it up. You had no problem suspending Pac-Man Jones.
No.
You had no, and you did your research because you went to Vegas and got the information. See, when the NFL, when they want to do something, Skip, they will spend, how much they spend on Deflategate? How much they spend on Bountygate or the bullying scandal? When they want to know something and they think that benefits them, because see, Skip, if you do your homework in this case, and you find out what people are finding out now, and you say, ooh, that's not gonna make you look good, Skip. Even if you do the right thing, it's not gonna make you look good because here we are again. We just had this 2 years ago. So the NFL wants to try to, if we just sweep it up, maybe we can just let this, he's a kicker. I mean, who knows who will kick it?
So,
that's not Adam Vinatieri or anybody.
Right, I agree. So we're back to my original question. Was it incompetence, just bumbling incompetence,
No.
or premeditated incompetence, as if need to sweep it under carpet? I say it's the latter. I say it was all calculated. They didn't want the information, or they could have gotten the information.
There's a simple saying, Skip. You measure 10 times and you cut once. You never cut 10 times because you measured once. And see what the NFL is doing, just like pushing this thing through. And then when everybody's like, hold on, let me do it. Skip, this is rudimentary. This is easy. And you talk about these guys that's on $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 salary, can't go, who's worked it. There are lawyers that are trained. Miss Friel, she's a female. So you would think this would resonate with, it should resonate with everyone. Let's make that crystal clear. But as a female who was in this profession before she came and started working for the NFL to give them how and why what goes on in cases like this, you would think, Commissioner, no, we got, hey, who said, you know what, that's good enough? Isn't someone there to say, we got to dig a little deeper, Commissioner? We got to go because this is not going to look good. If this gets out, and this is all we've given him, was one game, and it gets out, there have been 10, 15, 20 occurrences, and he's admitted it, she's admitted it, and you only gave him one game when you gave Ray Rice at the bare minimum saying you knew nothing, 2 games, and you went to North Carolina and you looked at the evidence to see if Greg Hardy had committed something against the NFL's personal conduct, that's not going to look good because that's twice in under 2 years. You've done this, Commissioner. This doesn't look good. So I want him out of the punishment business. If it doesn't have to do with fixing the games or gambling or something like that, Skip, integrity of the National Football League. That is the only discipline I want Commissioner Goodell to hear moving forward. He's unqualified. He's not unqualified to be commissioner because he's made the owners more wealthy than their wildest dreams. He's made the players wealthy. But in the punishment business, he's not qualified to handle this. Now, integrity, gambling, something that's going to affect the integrity of the football game, I want him to hear it. But other than that, he must, it's an absolute must, he get out of the punishment business. So anything off the field, DUIs, domestic violence, whatever it is, Commissioner, you got to get away from this because you know what's going to happen? The chants are going to get louder and louder, and the owners are going to start listening because the ratings are already declining, Skip. Now, that's what get the owners to start listening to you when it start affecting their pocket. Because, see, in 2014, the ratings were at an all-time high. The bottom line wasn't being affected. Eventually, the bottom line will be affected. These owners, they're not going anywhere. Okay, what can we do to quiet this storm? What can we do to make these voices silence a little? Commissioner, get out of this business. Let someone else handle this.
Well, hey, bottom line, I thought the commissioner would and should have lost his job after Ray Rice, and he was on the public hot seat, maybe not on the owner's hot seat.
Yes.
Now this happens, and I'm going to say it again. This is a lose your job sort of incompetence to me.
He has to just get out of the business. Let an arbitrator handle it, deem whatever. You won't even abide by the own policy that you instituted.
Well, the biggest thing you said is this isn't going to look good, Commissioner, if we give him one game suspension instead of the 6-game suspension. I thought you had a 6-game suspension. I thought we had an answer for this after Ray Rice, which is what's disappointing to me. Forget being a female and forget being a domestic violence survivor. Just as a fan, I thought we had this figured out. There's a 6-game suspension. That's all there's to it. You wrap it up and that's done. So it's incredibly disappointing. I do want to say Diana Moskovitz is the Deadspin writer that did the the piece on this and got the
Great job,
information.
Diana.
And if you are a victim of domestic violence or you know someone that's a victim of domestic violence and you want to help, you can call 1-800-799-SAFE or the hotline.org and get help there, and please do.